So I recently shared the fact that I got from Platinum to Diamond with a 78% win rate mono red list, which only took me 38 games to go through the whole of Platinum to Diamond. And you guys said you wanted to see the deck list. I'm going to share it with you. It's nothing hugely different to typical mono red aggro, but it seemed to work really well for me. So I'm going to share that with you. We're going to go through the list, play some games with it, see how I do today, and let's get on with it. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss out on any future videos like this. And here is the best mono red list that I've had so far that got me from Platinum to Diamond in 38 games, 78% win rate. Now, most of this is pretty much the same as most mono reds. So we've got Kamano, we've got Swift Spear, we've got Phoenix Chip, we've got Play with Fire, we've got Lightning Strike, we've got Adversary, we've got Feldon. The only things we've got Squee. The only thing that makes it too difficult the only thing that makes this too different to most mono red lists I see is that we don't have Thundering Raiju. And what else is it? Some other red cards that you sometimes see in it. Like we have Volder and Epicure, we don't have that. We don't have what's the one that does an extra damage? I'm forgetting it. The one that does one extra damage from red sources and artifact sources. I forget card names sometimes. You know the one I mean. You could go with that in a mono red list. You could go with lots of little things. This does have quite a few little things, but we also have a bit of dragon synergy, I guess, in the deck. We have Invasion of Tarkir, which is something you don't see too often. 2 mana, it does 2 damage to any other target when it enters, plus X, which is the number of dragons you reveal from your hand. So if you have Shivan Devastators in your hand, you can reveal them, and this turns from a Play with Fire into a Lightning Strike, into a Stoke the Flames. So we have hasty, evasive threats. I quite like Shivan Devastator compared to Thundering Raiju sometimes. I have got a lot of work out of Thundering Raijus before. I've used them a lot. But with Shivan Devastator, if you get it out on the same turn, it's slightly less damage, but it's more evasive. So sometimes when you want to play a Thundering Raiju and you're on turn 4 or 5 and you're just trying to do that last bit of damage to the opponent, they probably have a blocker out. And it might be a Shield Red, it might be an Obliterator, it might be something that's really hard to get through. So having flying could really help in those last moments. And also we have Nahiri's Warcrafting. I don't like the fact it's sorcery speed, but this is 5 damage to target creature, planeswalker, or battle. This gets rid of Shield Reds, it gets rid of Adelines, it can get rid of pretty much anything that's pretty big, but also you don't waste the damage if you do more damage than 5. If you have a creature with toughness lower than 5, you won't miss out on anything, because if you kill something that's a 3/3, you then get to look at the top 2 of your library, and you could potentially play another one of those cards on this turn. Not next turn, like Feldon does, or like Reckless Impulse. This is this turn, so you might want to do this before you play a land, because you might get a land off the top. But yeah, so these 3 working together. Sometimes we do Nahiri's Warcrafting on Invasion of Tarkir, which gives us the Defiant Thundermaw. And the Defiant Thundermaw is a 4/4 flying trample that does 2 damage to any target when it attacks, so it can effectively be a 6/6, but it can also just be a 4/4 that picks off the enemy's creatures as well. And it's whenever a dragon attacks. If we have 2 Defiant Thundermaws, then they will both trigger each other, so they will both do 2 damage twice to different targets. That's an extra 8 damage that we can do to things, and obviously Shivan Devastator attacking, and it has haste, so it can come out as a surprise, can also trigger the Thundermaw's 2 damage to any target. Then we have 2 Mishra's Foundries. Sometimes I like to have 1 in the deck. We have 2. There are occasionally times when you draw them too early and you don't get to play all your 1-drops because you don't have the red mana. It happens sometimes, but most of the time it doesn't. So that's the list that I used to get from Platinum to Diamond. I do have to make one confession, that since we got to Diamond, I've been on a terrible losing streak with this, because I've just been constantly mana screwed, flooded. The opponent just has everything that's perfect to stop me. And you can have your shuffler conspiracy theories about this, but we're going to go through some games. We'll see what kind of day I have. Is it going to be a good day or a bad day with this mono red list? but I do really like it. It's a little bit different, but still pretty similar to normal aggro. Let's dive into some games. Okay, this is a pretty good start with this this deck. I have quite a few options here. Mono tends to go first because we want to get that +1 counter. If we have a creature we can play on turn 2, we have the Phoenix Chick here, then we do want to get that +1 counter on something. So Kamano normally goes first. Also, it means you get to the etching a little bit sooner. I'm going to go with the adversary here. It's a good chance it could get countered. The biggest trouble I tend to have with this deck is against counter spells. Against other mono red, it's pretty good at racing it, and other aggro lists generally. The win rate I had to start with, 78% or so. It was actually 80% win rate on the draw with mono red, which was a bit crazy. But I think it's partly to do with the union. Okay, it's partly to do with what am I saying? Partly to do with the amount of removal we tend to have using Tarkir. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be a Mindsplice deck, which means I kind of want to get creatures out as soon as possible, do as much damage. They're going to keep gaining life, which is a real pain. Now I could try to get Tarkir going and save all this direct damage for their face afterwards. So that's 7 direct damage we have here. So we can hit them for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I might just race them. Sometimes you want to hit Tarkir. Yeah, they're going to keep gaining life. Sometimes it's a good idea to go for Tarkir, and I could get it with the play with fire and the lightning strike. But better if I get the warcrafting, because this opponent is going to have nothing good to hit with these burn spells apart from going for their face. It's a good chance. Well, is it a good chance as a Wandering Emperor? Maybe not. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. Puts them down to 8. If they don't have more unions, they might have some more in their hand. If they don't have many more unions, then they're going to run out of life gain here. Okay. Should have done that before I attacked, because I'm going to get this. Now I could... So, we're down to 10. If they have a Sunfall next, then I'm in trouble. Augury. Try and do some direct damage while they're looking for something. They don't have the Mindsplice yet, otherwise they probably would have cast it by now. Unless they're just looking for a sweeper. Which they might be. But now they only have 1 mana. They could be dead next turn. We put the extra counter on Tarkir, which is kind of annoying. But we're going to ignore it for now. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. And 4 in hand. Then we'll have another march. Okay. Now I could go for this while they don't have counter spells. And an extra Phoenix Chick in hand is probably pretty good. So the only thing that could go wrong here is if they have Twilight. Although Twilight is not going to destroy everything unless they have another land as well. We've only got 3 cards left. It's a good chance we're going to do this. Okay. We got there. Okay, it's not so much a good starting hand. The opponent's going first. Got creatures, but no damage spells. But we'll see. We want to get Feldon out first before Adversary. Feldon gives us a little bit more value in the early game. Adversary gives us a little bit more potential value later on. And lots of squeeze. So hopefully they keep killing squeeze and we keep throwing them back out at them. So, Feldon. And if they have cut down, which they probably do. There you go, he's gone. Still got 1 damage out of them, I suppose. It's something. But with Feldon, we don't mind them killing him because we have 3 in the deck and he's legendary. So if they don't kill him, we might draw another one. Use up all that removal. We have more squeezer where that came from. There's the shield red. Now we need the warcrafting. And we don't have. We could either get out a couple of adversaries, or we could get out a Devastator that's going to be too big for a cut down, and at least keeps their life total down while they're gaining with Shield Red. Hopefully we draw a Lightning Strike. We'll look at our hand. Take out one of the creatures. If we take out one Squee, doesn't really stop us from using the other one, so makes more sense to take the adversary. Mono. Bit of a reckless, silly play, putting the Squee out there, but pretty sure we're not going to win this unless we draw a Warcrafting. So they could probably get more removal for the Devastator. Maybe they're going to save it to see what we do next. There's the Warcrafting, which is exactly when we want to play a creature, so we get the +1 counter from Kamano, but hopefully... oh, big score, okay. Attracts us. They're going to try and reanimate with Gix. Nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. So they're going to bring an Atraxa back this turn with Gix. They're going to get a 7/7 lifelink, draw loads of cards. Yeah. If we got the Warcrafting earlier, taken out this Shield Red, we might have been able to get more damage through, but we needed more direct damage spells, not all these squeeze. I only played one recklessly because I thought at least it gets another 1/1. But yeah, this is over.
Plan? Fire doesn't need a plan.
We don't have anything to take out on Atraxa unless we get another Warcrafting and something else, but it's not going to happen. Let's just move on to the next game. So this is pretty good. Again, opponent's going first, but at least we've got Swift Spear, Feldon, Lightning Strike. We have a few more options. So we might be able to remove something if the opponent puts it out. But there are certain things that will shut this deck down. Atraxa is definitely one of them. Luckily, not everyone plays Atraxa. Let's go Swift Spear. I'm going to save the Lightning Strikes as long as possible. Let's get Feldon going. No counter spells. No priority holds. They don't have anything yet. Must have by now. I'm going to go with the adversary now. Now they have a hold, so they have a counter spell. And they're not going to counter it. What do they have? No, they don't have anything else. So it's just counter spells at the moment. Depopulate. That's why they don't want to counterspell, because they could get rid of it anyway. Alright, let's get some more damage going with creatures. So we now have 6, 7, 8 damage in hand. So they could have more removal, they could have an Emperor. They could have an invasion. Arcavios. So they're going to pick anything they want. It might be a Sunfall. If it is. Oh, we need one more land, right? No, we need more than one land. There's the White Sun. Okay, so they're going to gain some life as well. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then they gain 3 life. So we want to get as much damage out with the creatures as we can. Because next turn, they're going to gain at least 3 life. No, they're not. They're not doing White Suns yet. Okay, let's hope they don't have a counterspell. They don't have a counterspell. Thank goodness for that. So that's a pretty good start. Kumano, then Swift Spear, then Play with Fire. Gets quite a lot of damage to start with. Then if we get one more land, Squee is going to do a great job for us, so we'll see. If they don't have early removal, and then they're able to remove Squee after a turn or two, they're taking a mulligan, which is a good sign. Then, if they kill Squee, we've got another one. So, it should be pretty good. As long as we draw an extra land. We have 2 more turns to draw a land in our deck with like 22 lands in it. And we're against other mono red, and they took a mulligan. Yeah, I think we've got... Oh, there's another Squee. Now, I kind of don't want to use the Play with Fire now, because I could get rid of something with it. But I might use it just to try and make sure we get that land. Hopefully we'll get a land. Because having 3 Squees in my hand, not being able to use them, it's pretty terrible. Oh, we've got green as well. Okay, so it's a modified Gruul aggro. Gruul with protection as well. This is just legendary creatures, right? I guess it's a 3/3 for 2 mana. Doesn't have haste. Warcrafting would be good here. It's going to make other legendary creatures indestructible. It's not going to help other creatures. But yeah, this is where we need to draw that land. There we go, game seemed to freeze for a second there. Okay, we'll get Swift Spear out now anyway. We're not going to attack because we're going to lose probably the Swift Spear. There's a good chance that they'll be worried and not want to block. We'll still get 3 damage through. Like, you could go the really aggressive route. If we don't draw lightning strikes for extra damage or a land to get Squee going, then it's not looking too good. We can at least block the Kumano. Okay. If they get to remove our creatures, yeah, before we can do too much to them. If we had attacked, then we would be... Yeah, that's pretty awful. We need that land. No! Okay, we can slow down their damage. Could have waited till their turn to do it. But we're not going to kill them with a lightning strike when they're on 13. But they're almost out of cards. We're down to 2 then. We need to get Squee. What is this? Okay, modified creature synergy. And we have just no lands. This is what happens. You win a game, you lose a game, you win a game, you lose a game, get no lands. Any lands? It's too late, but oh my goodness. Really? Okay, right, this is looking pretty good, and we're going first. We have Swift Spear, we have Feldon, have a Foundry. So I'm hoping at least we'll have some games where we get Invasion of Tarkir happening, doing the thing, becoming the Dreadmaw. But we'll see if we get to actually do that in any of these games. Otherwise, this is just basic red aggro. Okay, let's get Feldon down. Hoping they don't use lay down arms and kill the Feldon without causing damage to it and giving us that card draw. Okay. Down to 11. It's looking pretty good. They might be the kind of white deck that ramps up with farm hands and spirited companions, draw lots of cards and then depopulate or sunfall, possibly. So I might save one Devastator back in case we do get sunfalled or depopulated. Peacekeeper. Probably on the Devastator, I guess. It's also a 3/3 creature, so we don't want to attack with a Swift Spear. Lightning Strike, okay, they're more worried about that. Perfect, so I don't have any. So, I'm okay with that. Hoping they block the Swift Spear with the Peacekeeper. I would like to keep the play with fire until the very end as a surprise, but if I need to use it now, I guess I will do. It's a hard choice for them to know whether to block or not. They're going to give us the 3 cards, okay. Still going to kill this though. And then we're doing 4 damage, they'll be down to 7. Going down to 5. Down to 4 because the Swift Spear is going to prowess again. Down to 4. Possibly drawing a land. We are drawing a land with a Devastator. Oh, we're going to get that land anyway because he's scryed. Okay. Which one do we want? Maybe we'll go with the chick. But I'm not going to do it now. Vindicator. That's a reason to save your play with fires to the end. More Tarkir. Okay, so we might have something here. We can do. Oh, we could have done this before combat, but I think it makes no difference. We're going to get 3 damage to any target. If they get Vindicators out earlier, then we're in trouble. So we're going to get 1 damage to them. They can do 2 damage to anything they like. Fair enough. And then we can do 3 damage with Tarkir. There we go, we're showing off. This extra burn spell makes a bit of a difference. Okay, the opening hand looks pretty good. Opponent going first. So let's go with Kumano. Then we'll get Feldon down next, which will make it a 3/3, which will dodge cut down if they have it. Force them to use bigger removal. We have the Warcrafting already, which is good for the Shield Red. Also, if they use up, they go for the Throats. Then Tarkir. Oh, Liliana's annoying.
This is
Discard.
my home, and I don't appreciate it.
Okay.
We all have things we'd rather.
Land would be great. Because they're tapped out. So I can go with Squee, take out Liliana, keep the damage going. If they don't play a Shield Red now, then they don't have one. But they do have one, which is fine. Because we're ready for it. It would be nice to use the Tarkir and then Warcrafting on it, but never mind. Going pretty wide. We still got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage in hand. I'll probably block the squeaks, keeps going wider. So we're doing 2, 3, 4, 5 damage to them, down to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All I need to do is draw one more burn spell, but they're going to gain life by drawing cards, so we have to get rid of Shield Red first. Maybe... what have we got in there? So we can cast it from the graveyard. Oh, they're going to give up. We could do the squee again from the graveyard anyway. Okay, we're going first. We get Kumano and then Felden, which is a good start. We've got enough lands. Might be one of the games where you get too many lands. We've already had not enough. Today we might be having too many. We'll see. Got to stay positive. So I'll try and keep going until we get... oh, another mono red. Perfect. Felden, good against other mono red. So the only way they can remove it is wasting a lightning strike and giving me 3 cards. So great one to get out against the mirror match. Some removal would be nice, take out their creatures early on, slow the damage down. Now there's all the lands coming in. So we'll get adversary now. He might have a play with fire. If he does, that's fine. There it goes. Better to use it on my turn, so we waste the prowess. And we want to play the Devastator as late as possible to make it as big as possible. If I can get to 4, then, well, if we can wait until then, if we survive that long, it's going to be hard for him to do enough damage to kill it. Got 2 more turns left, and there's the lands. Okay, so we're going to do 5 damage here. We could do 8. Done 6. Well, let's not waste the Devastator now. If we can get another lightning strike out in hand, that's good. But they don't have it. If they need to kill me on this turn, which is going to be what, 2 lightning strikes, would just about do it. If they had the perfect draw, then what can we do? Could have left adversary back to block. Okay, anger, so on 7 damage. They could do this. No, they don't have it. Okay. Okay, going first. Let's just take it. So we'll play with fire on their turn. If we can remove something, that's good. We'll probably save it. It's better for removal than it is for doing 2 damage early on, especially when we have enough lands. Okay. Let's try this. This is early on, so it should work pretty well. We don't have very many creatures, so I'm going to try and get the Dreadmaw going. It should help us pick off their creatures as well. Adeline's annoying. We can kill it. Could kill it now before it goes wider. So we're going to go 2 damage there. And let's just finish it off. And I'm also going to make this one go down to 3 now. So we've got 2 lightning strikes, 2 invasions of Tarkir, and we've got 4 mana available. We could end up with a couple of big dragons here. Another Adeline. That's fine. I'm going to assume we have play with fire, so they won't want to block. As long as they don't play Adeline now, we're good. Not Adeline, Thalia. If they do, we're going to hit Tarkir now, before it lands. Okay. Brutal Cathar is 3, right? So right, now Tarkir is going to do its thing. Hopefully. It's a pretty big threat to overcome here. Copper coat, okay. You can attack if you want. Okay. So all these things down here we could do something about, right? But because there's 2 damage to any target, triggers for each one, we don't even need to think about the creatures. There's just so much damage when you get these going. We're going fast, so as long as we get that 3rd land, we're okay. So this is our last game for luck. Probably the last one. We've got to show off Tarkir in the last one, so kind of got the point. Okay, another mono red. Okay. Phoenix Chick, not the biggest threat to get rid of. I'm just going to use the Play with Fire now while I can. And we've got that 3rd land, so I think we should be okay here. We should get this done. They won't want to use Play with Fire against Feldon, because it gives us the cards. If they do, that's okay with me. We've got another one. They probably won't though. If they have it, they're saving it for Squee. But they don't know we have another Squee. They're going to kill that one? Oh yes. Thank you. Now I'll pick that one. So I killed someone else's Feldon once. There's Mechanized Warfare, there's the card. You know the one I meant. Let's go with... Wow. Let's get Commander going. And get Squee rolling again. Then we can play a Feldon that's a 3/3 next turn. We're doing good. So I killed someone's Feldon, and I did like 5 or 6 damage to it. It was a lot of damage. And I was pretty sure they were going to draw a really good card to finish me off, like a lightning strike or whatever it was. They got 6 lands in a row. Whoever gets 6 lands in a row in a mono red aggro deck that probably has like 22 lands in it. That was weird. Okay, Feldon's going to do 3 damage. Pretty sure this is over though. Let's just get everything going. unless they can do 17 damage to us, we're doing alright. That's pretty good. Gives us another card though. Another 2 cards. Phoenix. Epicure doing 2 damage to us. They're doing pretty well. Down to 1 card though. Warcrafting. Probably not necessary. Let's get Phoenix Chick out. And just for good measure, let's get Squee going as well. Exile 4, exile the other Squee. Yeah, it's over. They know it. Can't do enough. Still going to get 5 damage. No, not. It's still got Epicure. What am I talking about? Well, the best thing they can do is block Feldon, give me another card, take 3 damage. I'll block Mono, not give me the card. Go down to 1, so they have to kill me this turn. They've got 1 card and a Feldon. No matter what they've got, they can't do it. Or can they? 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, if only they didn't have to use the blood token. They could have done it, maybe. So we're back now, those games are done, and I'm going to show you the stats for the deck in as much detail as I can, just because I think it's really interesting to see. Alright, so we did have a really good run from Platinum to Diamond. This is the run from Platinum to Diamond. Up here, and up to here, we got to Diamond. As soon as we got to Diamond, I had like mana problems every game in a row, over and over again, and we dropped down. Well, good thing we're at Diamond 4, right, because you can't drop down to Platinum. And then there's our games from today. So we're starting to climb back up again. So I don't know, this could have just been a blip, just bad luck. But we went from pretty much, you had 78% win rate up here, down to, where are we there? Down to almost around 62. And we're back up now at 65% right now. 70% on the play, 60% on the draw. And the matchups we've had with this deck, with enchantments, 6 wins at 6 matches. We do really well against enchantments. We do pretty well against most black. We've only faced mono blue once. We've had a lot of mono red mirror matches. We've won 11 and lost 6 of them. And I think a good number of those ones that we won, we were on the draw. So it does work out to be quite a lot faster than other mono red. And then Esper, we've just had like the worst luck with Esper. And then a variety of other things have done pretty well, even against domain decks 2 and 2. Obviously, if you really want to test a deck and see how well it does against different things, you need to play a lot more matches than this. This is only 49 wins, 26 losses. So that's 75 games with this deck. It's a good sample size, but as you can see from like the rise here and the fall here, like it's not going to be solid at 78% win rate. It's not going to stay like that. You need to take a lot more games into account to get the good luck games and the bad luck games all together. But considering we can beat enchantments pretty easily, we can beat other mono red pretty easily, and a lot of other aggro white, we've had a few games where we've really got no land or nothing but land. But generally against white we do pretty well. Against black we seem to do pretty well. We've got a way to deal with shield red, got a way to deal with planeswalkers, Liliana with haste. We've got lots of things to deal with, lots of potential threats. And this is the best mono red that I've ever used, I think. It's not very budget friendly, and the deck list has changed a little bit as I've used it and refined it and moved some things around. But it is a pretty expensive list. If we come back to look at the list, you can see that these are all the rares. We've got Foundry, Adversary, Feldon, Squee, and the Nahiri's Warcrafting are all rare, and Tarkir and Shivan Devastator are mythics. So it's not a budget-friendly red list, but if you happen to have the cards, if you have the wild cards that you want to use, and the last video that came out was telling you, right, not to use wild cards on things unless you know you're going to get a lot of use out of them. So if you really like mono red and you have the wild cards and you want to play this list, then feel free to go and craft them. But I wouldn't craft Tarkir and Devastator, unless you're definitely going to use this. A Foundry can fit into lots of different decks, so go for it if you want to craft that one. So that's all we have time for. Let me know what you think in the comments below about this deck. Do you hate Mono Red? I quite like it. It's quite fun, especially when you're against another Mono Red, because then it's like working out a very short puzzle. You know what's going to happen in like 4 turns. You know the game's going to be over very soon. I really hate the games that drag on, so maybe that's why I like Mono Red better. I don't know. I like playing against it. People always complain about playing against Mono Red. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I like playing against them. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And leave any comments, like if you have any other questions about using Mono Red or any other tips you have using Mono Red. I want to make sure this video is useful for as many people as possible, not just watching some games, but learning some stuff about playing Mono Red as well. So leave that in the comments below. And thanks for watching this video to the end. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one.